All right, everybody, welcome back to the On Deck Circle. We are here today. We are joined by none other than the helicopter swinging man himself, BigHeli, big Braves fan, big MLB The Show guy. How are we doing, Heli? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man, welcome on in. I just want to say, I know I say it all the time in your stream background. I like the Braves flag behind you, but that Cowboys one, though.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on getting rid of it here soon. Let's see how the season
There's
goes.
a lot of football stuff in the backgrounds of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gotta have it. Go Pack, go! It's funny. You look at my background. I got a wrestling belt, the Packers logo, and then Link from Zelda. I'm all over the place, but hey, I'm a different kind of cat. But no, man, welcome on in. Thanks for being with us today, man. It should be a fun time for MLB The Show. So good having you, man. But
Cool.
But yeah, man, I guess how we did when our last guest was on, man. Just kind of give yourself a fun introduction. Let us know about your love of MLB The Show, kind of where you got started with it, and all that fun jazz. We'll shut up for the next 20 minutes.
Well, I was always big into MLB. Not so much as some other people, but like I would always like baseball. I think the first game I played of MLB, I think was when Joe Mauer was on the cover, I believe on the PSP days. But yeah, I was big into like Road to the Show and franchise all the way up until actually 20, because I really didn't know much about Diamond Dynasty and all that. So it was just Road to Show and Diamond Dynasty for me. But yeah, I got into it in 20, and yeah, I've been just in love with it ever since. Love for a better term, but but yeah, 20 was my first game, and I really just fell in love with it, and as far as content goes too, I didn't really stream MLB content when I first started like actually getting into the Diamond Dynasty. It was more so it's kind of all over the place, like a little bit of COD, a little bit of Fortnite, when Fortnite was big. But yeah, like and then streamed here and there in 20, and then around I want to say 22 is when we got later part of 22 is when we got more consistent, and then it's just been going up from there. So
Fun, man. It's crazy. I think everybody that I met through like the community so far, everybody's always started right around the same time. It's always been like 19 or 20, because I think 19 was the big one for me. I played it a little bit in 18, but 19 was definitely like the big one for me that I started doing it. And I think Tango, you were the same way, right? Because I know you remember the Immortal grind.
Yeah, MLB 17 was the first one that I had. Like I was like, because they stopped making the 2K games. I was always an Xbox kid because I played a lot of Halo. And then they stopped making those. I'm like, oh, there's no baseball. I'm like, oh, I want to play a baseball video game. So I'm like, oh, whatever. Spent some money, bought a PS4, got MLB 17 because also like Griffey came back that year. So I was like, my favorite player of all time. Like, I got to play this game. And I was kind of like the same as like what Heli's saying. I kind of just played like franchise, or just like I would just play against the CPU, like exhibition games. I'm like, oh, I just want to play baseball and whatever. Some Road to the Show, like, oh, I'm going to go play for the Jays and hit 100 bombs or whatever. And that later part of 17 is when I started watching like YouTube content, all the like kind of the OG creators in the space. And that's what got me into Diamond Dynasty. I was like, what is this Diamond Dynasty mode? I remember the first time I ever opened it, I'm like, this is so confusing. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just like, nope, I'll go back to like the easy stuff. But yeah, and this second half of 17 is when I started Diamond Dynasty, and like basically since MLB 18 dropped, it's been all I've done. Besides Road to the Show glitches for XP early on in the year.
Oh,
of course, got to do those. Yeah, man. As I say, it's all kind of the same. Yeah, I think it's like the big, and not to say like they're the main reasons, but it seems like a lot of like the bigger content creator guys, like the big streamers and stuff like that, have been playing it since its inception. It seems like, and then obviously a lot of guys like ourselves weren't with the grind in 16 and 17 and stuff like that. But yeah, I was definitely the same way. MLB 19 had me. because I was late even to that one, and then MLB 20, I was like, okay, like that's all I'm invested in now is just playing Diamond Dynasty on MLB. I still play franchise from here to there, but
Yeah.
I was solely a franchise guy before that. I mean, I was every pitch, every at bat, every game type of guy. But like I didn't stream it or anything. I just did it for the fun of myself. Like I just got off work. My lady wasn't home yet. I was like, I'm just gonna play a few baseball games here and there, and it just took forever because you play every pitch. It's like games last an hour.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I played an entire season of a Blue Jays in MLB 17, like every 162. Yeah, there was like a big wave of like new MLB The Show creators in the like late 2020, early 2021 pandemic times when people had nothing better to do. Like that's when a lot of people you see now who weren't popular before but are now, that's kind of when they all started, all those guys, I think.
I'd say it was two things. It was the pandemic for sure, because obviously a lot of people were at home, but then also when it came to Xbox, it's free on Game Pass. So it's like guys didn't have to buy the game. So it was like, oh, this is a free baseball game. I can just play it, like and stuff like that. Obviously, I didn't have that pleasure because I was a PS5 guy, but
MLB 20 and 21 were awesome. Like they were really good.
They were fantastic. They were awesome.
Well, 21 was, but 22.
Yeah, I like 20 as well. 21 is probably my favorite one of all.
I think 20 is gonna be my favorite. It's just that nostalgic factor. And I didn't really start when it actually started. I played like halfway through, and then started playing Diamond Dynasty. I think around mid-October. So,
yeah, I think that's kind of how. I know there was a lot of people that I met that were kind of the same way. Like they were just solely franchise guys, and then they like got to know guys in the community, and they streamed Diamond Dynasty, and then they looked at it and tried it themselves, and then now they solely play that. So Diamond Dynasty just has a hold on all of us. It's what it is. It hurts us franchise folks too, but it is what it is.
Well, it's I mean, it is like the only thing that they really seem to spend time on too. SDS, whether it's
not even SDS, all sports games except for maybe 2K. 2K seems to update their my
2K is more like they have like the park and then my team, so they kind of split between them.
Yeah, and then my league is also like probably the most in-depth franchise mode in all of sports gaming too. So it's like but also it's because like they don't take features out, they just leave everything in, and then they just add more stuff. Unlike other sports games, Madden to like MLB, they'll just take stuff out. Yeah. So, but I guess going there, we had the brand new season 2, but I figured we just go back and kind of give a rest in peace to our season 1. Just kind of give a fun little recap about season 1. Like, how do we all enjoy it? Now that it's obviously over, some highlights, some lowlights, things like that. So yeah, just season 1, Heli. How'd you feel about season 1 overall as a season?
Season 1, I felt was it was really weird, I want to say, because for the first little bit of it, I felt like I was really enjoying it, really having fun, and then I want to say around like I maybe in Team Infinity Chapter 2, it kind of just hit like that just hit a wall, and it just kind of felt like okay, let's just get through the emotions, let's just when are we getting these 99s, and it just felt like even when we did get those 99s, people would still be using like Larry and Jimmy, and so those 99s really didn't matter as much. Besides like being everything being in packs, but
MLB the Pack 24.
Pack 24. Yeah, it was weird. Like the mini power creep. It's like I thought it was a good idea. I think it's better than last year, but it's also weird because once you get to season 2, you're like, okay, I'm like, now I want 99s. You still have to wait another few weeks. But then once you get the 99s, you're like, the new season's coming up right away. So I don't even feel like grinding for them. It's weird.
Yeah, it was a strange thing because it was like everybody got excited with the 99s. It's maybe not like the Team Affinity 99s. There were some good ones there, but it was like once you were able to get like Jimmy and Larry and all those guys like that, you were like, okay, like I feel accomplished with all this stuff. And then a week later, if not less for some people, it was all gone. So, it just, for me personally, I think season 1, I think I kind of agree with you, Heli, is like right around chapter 2 of season 1 team affinity is when it was like, okay, this isn't as fun as I expected it to be. Like the grind is okay. Like, because I always enjoy the team affinity grind. Season 3 was really long, or chapter 3 was really long. But it's also like, it kind of was what it was. It made you constantly have to play. So like for me, I think I was talking to Tango about it. I didn't beat chapter 3 until like 2 weeks before the season ended. Like, I was really late compared to other people as far as actually beating Team Affinity. And I played the game quite a bit, but it was like I just wasn't making any progress because it took forever to progress everything. Yeah, so like the power creep was okay, but yeah, having it all be gone now is just demoralizing personally. It's like, man, I don't want to play ranked with a squad of 89s.
I feel like once they released some of those captains, like especially the Santana captain boost, that was just kind of where like it stopped being fun for me. Like, because the whole point, what I like to do, I was just go into rank, play, just use these different team builds, but like once you had that Santana boost, it felt like they forced you in a hole to like, if you didn't like use that boost, like you couldn't compete. So it's just. So it just kind of made some of those team affinity cards lesser than they should have been.
No, I agree. That Santana boosted. It's so funny. Obviously, we're going to get into the chapter, there's season 2 or whatever, but him getting nerfed was probably the funniest thing of everybody. Like, everyone was so mad. It was so funny. And I never used him. Like, I built a team with the lineup, and I was like, okay, like the boost is okay, but it's like, it's also more of like, everyone's a switch hitter. So it's like, you just always have the at-bat advantage, which was obviously the big thing. But it was like the attribute boost was good, but it wasn't as great as everyone made it out to be. Because it was hard to boost, to get like the Kershaw boost to go with the Santana one, unless you had a lot of players like that. So But Tango, what was I know we've been talking about, what was your thoughts on season 1 as a whole?
I think the conclusion I've drawn from it, like, it was fine, but I just think I think they got to kill the whole seasons thing next year. I just don't think it bodes well for this game, because you never want to take things away and step backwards, and it feels like I understand what they were going for with like the refresh with season 2 and wanting to have give people a purpose of like, okay, well, now you got to start over, but I don't know. I never really had a problem with like the full year power creep or the like, always chasing a better card. Like, I think it gave you something to always be looking forward to. It's hard to go from full 99s to look forward to an 89. And then especially when they just give you like 95% of cards that you've seen in the game already over the last 3 years, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I just did this. I think that's the feeling that a lot of people have, is like, oh, I just did this. Why am I doing this all again? Like, I just did this last year. I just did this year before. Like, I don't know what they need to do to freshen it up. Like, as a whole, the content, I think, of season 1 was pretty good. Like, there's some fun cards. I feel like, well, I don't know if I would say it's pretty good. It was okay. I still think there should be like more things to do. Like the City Connect stuff is like, it's cool to get the jerseys, but when it was a program where you got a player from that team, I think made more sense and was more fun. Like, people don't want to just play Conquest over and over and over again. Like, some people do.
Yeah.
So, like, people will do it. I'll do it because I just like grinding for stuff. But I would rather do like a program where it's like, get hits with Blue Jays players to get this Danny Jansen card and the City Connect jersey, right? Like, the way they used to do it, I think just was more fun. So I don't know. They got to change some things up.
Yeah, it just seems like they're trying to reinvent something and hoping it works, and it's like, it's just not working. It's just not a good formula for content. I mean, it just makes guys. I think me and Tango have definitely talked about it off stream and stuff like that. It's like, when you have some of the biggest content creators in the MLB like not playing, it's like, it's not a good sign. And granted, a lot of those guys, they just not gonna talk down on any of them, but it's like, they do have a giant voice, and they have a big name in the community, but it's like, man, we can't cater to everybody. I guess is kind of where it comes to as well. It's like it's hard to cater to everybody, but it's like, man, I would like to. I think I still say MLB 21 had the best Diamond Dynasty thing ever. It was like every inning program, you had something to look forward to. Like I looked forward to the live streams. Like I wasn't in it. I wasn't trying to watch the live stream just to get drops. Like that's all people care about now with the live streams is to.
It's just constantly people dropping L's in the chat and collecting drops. That's what the SDS streams are now.
That's all it is. I mean, I text Tango during the one on Friday, and I'm like, dude, it's just mean. Like they're just mean. Like
that
everyone in there is just so
the
mean.
meanest place on earth is the SDS Twitch chat.
No.
Man, but you know, they're very, our community is very vocal about their game because they wanted to cater to them specifically, which is weird, but you also get guys like, you know, me who getting a bunch of Brewers cards throughout the year, and then Tango can't get a Blue Jay to save his life until this past Friday, other than Tom Hankey.
Fucking Tom Hankey, man. That guy haunts my dreams of Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah. But yeah, man, and then, you know, we just get Season 1 was okay. The 99s were, it just seemed like after Team Affinity 1, personally, like the cards were just kind of like, okay, this isn't anything really worth grinding. Like the cards, no one's really using, things like that. Team Affinity 1, I felt like had a lot of good variety with the cards. I mean, you had some really good cards. I mean, like the Brewers, Yasmani Grandal was good. But then everything in Chapter 2 was like prospect cards and
a lot of pipelines.
Like cards that people don't want to use. Like I'm not a big fan of the pipeline cards because it's like I like using players that I know who they are. No disrespect to those young kids are going to come up and be MLB players, I'm sure at some point, most of them. But it's like I kind of don't want to use you. I'd rather use like guys that I know. And then the 99 creep of Chapter 3 also was like, okay, cool, we're getting all 99s. It felt like it was like an end of game cycle. Like it really did. Like it just felt like everything about the game was about like, okay, we're done with this game for this year. Come back next April and we'll have something else for you.
Yeah, that's like the effect they wanted, but in the wrong way. Like they wanted it to feel like the end and a refresh, but I think it just has the unfortunate effect of MLB The Show in like December, where it's just like, it just kind of makes you want to play something else a little bit.
Yeah, when Sets and Seasons first came out, I was kind of like, okay, you know, this could be fun. It could, you know, especially as a ranked player, you know, it's, I want to see more variety in like, you know, ranked and, you know, but with Sets and Seasons, it was just like, now it's just like, I'm over it.
I think part of the issue too is like, it almost doesn't really matter how many cards you put out, or like, there's always going to be kind of like, this is like the meta squad that everybody's going to use. Like no matter what, there's always these cards that are better for the most part. Like they'll have some variety and maybe who you pitch here and there. But, you know, you think of like last year playing co-op, like if you played a co-op game where you didn't see at least one, if not both of Randy Johnson and John Donaldson, it was like
Bob Gibson
too.
Oh
yeah, Bob Gibson for the first half. Yeah, like
the what was it, the closer, or no, it was the starter Shohei.
Oh yeah,
they would bring him in off the bullpen, like that one too, and then they would DH him right after. So it was like, yeah, there was a lot of that going on. I didn't play as much co-op, I think, as either one of you guys did, so I didn't get to see it as torturous. But I know it was torture. It was definitely torture.
I played a lot.
It was something.
Of the year. It was the same guys over and over.
Yeah. And with the Sets and Season 2, I wish, like, I think it could work in like a tournament style mode. I've said this, but like, you know, I think, you know, this is my just take, but ranked has become so casual that it's no one really cares. Like, you have so many people quitting, just so many. It's just everybody's just trying to get their innings and then leave.
Yeah, as a question for you, as someone who, you know, is like a World Series player and has like, you know, that used to be something you would kind of go for. I don't know if you have this year at all, but like, what are your thoughts on them kind of adding that ranked program into the game? Because I've never made World Series. I've never really tried to, but even me as a person who like has never done it, I'm like, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's bad for that mode. Like but as like somebody who, that was something I know in the past you've spent a lot of time doing. Just your thoughts on that and the ranked program.
I just think like with the rank program, I'm all for like helping people get what their cards and whatnot, and everybody use whatever cards they want. But if they want to go that route of more casual, like ranks just gonna be casual, I think I think it needs to be another mode with that. But as far as the rank program itself, I'm fine with it, But I just think there needs to be more incentives for people to want to play and continue playing these 9 inning games, because 9 innings is like it's long, like 45 minutes to an hour. I know not everybody has that time, but you want to make people's time feel rewarded. I just don't think they've done that.
Yeah, I agree. I was never a World Series player myself either. I think the closest I ever got was 800, and then I think I lost like my next 2 ranked games, so I was like right back into the 600s right after that. But yeah, it's like they're de-incentivizing people to really like just play ranked. It's like, okay, I hit my innings, I got my boss, I can't sell him, but it's like I got him, so it's like whatever. And then it also has killed the market of guys who do hit World Series, because you see World Series rewards are nowhere near as expensive on the market as they always used to be. I mean, those were always like, it was always them, and then the BR rewards were always the highest rewards, which the BR rewards are still higher, but you get these, the World Series rewards all season 1 were just dead after like 2 weeks of them coming out. It was like once that second program is and you were able to do the missions to get them, all of a sudden the prices would like drastically drop. And I don't know if that's good. I always thought, well, like, okay, I knew I'm not a World Series player, so it's like it sucks that I'm not gonna be able to get this card, but like maybe I just need to be better. Like, like maybe I just need to get gooder. But it was always like, okay, I know I'm not gonna be able to get this card, but it gave me an incentive. Like, I really want to play rank because I want to get this card. Like, I remember a few years ago, I'll switch over to BR because it's the same concept. Like, you weren't allowed to get these cards unless you went flawless. So I can't remember what year it was. It might have been MLB 21 where they made Josh Donaldson the BR reward and the MVP card. And I always love Josh Donaldson cards, so like I wanted to get them, and I couldn't because I never went flawless, and it pissed me off the entire time because I was like, man, I just want this card so bad, and I don't have the stubs to buy him because he was like 1,000,000 stubs. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to afford this thing, so I wanted to get him. I just never could, and it was like, but it made me want to play it. So it was like, now you just have the programs in both game modes, and
there used to be event rewards that would go for 1,000,000 stubs.
Yeah, there was
even event rewards. Yeah, I think they're bad. I think like maybe attach a program to it where you can earn some packs and stubs, but having that as a path to earn the World Series reward cards or the flawless cards, I think it just kills it. Like I'm never going to try and go flawless if I can just play for like 5 hours over the course of a week, do the program, get the card that I want, and then whatever. Like, and same with like ranked. Like I played a little bit of ranked in the first set that came out. But then the second one, like I eventually I was just able to buy DeGrom and Mike Cameron for like $25,000 each stubs. I'm like, that's like, why am I going to spend hours grinding all these innings and missions when I can just, like, they're so cheap that like it's brutal. Like, I don't know why anybody would even bother trying to make World Series unless you like need that. But I don't know. I always only would ever have wanted to like get that card. Plus, like they used to be, it was like it's almost guaranteed 1,000,000 stubs. It used to be. Plus, it was I don't know. I think the prestige of it is just there's no aura with World Series banners anymore.
Yeah, that's it's brutal that how they kind of like killed the momentum, because I know like when I first hit World Series, it was back in 20. I remember like I think it was when Ted Williams was a reward and he was going for like 1,000,000, and I was just like, let's go. Even if I didn't want to use them, I knew I had 1,000,000 stubs. But now like if you do make World Series, you have to make it so fast that you have to you have to sell them. But yeah, if you wait like a week or two, it's gonna be like 30K. So it's just those series rewards haven't been like the best. I mean, maybe like early on, like some of these cards will be better, but I mean like I think probably the best one still in my opinion is the DeGrom and the Mike Cameron, because Mike Cameron is really good. He's sneaky.
He's super sneaky good, man. I like him a lot. Yeah, I was a big fan of his card for sure. But yeah, I mean, even it also like gave you like a sense of, okay, I'm playing this guy online. Oh shit, he has the World Series reward. Like, I probably should take this guy a little bit more seriously when I'm playing him, because there are people like I will just go into a ranked game back in those days, and I'm just like just to play. But then all of a sudden you see a guy with like, for example, like the Mike Cameron in his lineup. You're like, oh shit, like he's got Mike Cameron in his lineup. I probably should, I gotta kind of step my game up, because this guy's probably better than me, and I gotta see how I stack up against this guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was always that sense too. I mean, there was a sense with like the BR programs, all the programs for the most part. I mean, events, everything. Obviously, I think event rewards have always been easier to win because they're based on just getting wins before the program is over. But, but like that BR and like the rank, because obviously it's based on difficulty and things like that. So, but I don't know. The programs were what they were, but I'm not. I was a big fan of them at first, but then I've seen them implemented, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, this isn't. There's a reason why you weren't allowed to earn every card. Like, granted, if you want to earn every card, you gotta work for it, and I don't hate that concept anymore. I was not a big fan of it. I was a big fan of the programs at first, but not anymore.
Yeah, and speaking of like the events, like 2 weeks, and then we're still at 35 wins. I mean, like you can boost it up to like 50, 75. Give some more rewards or like XP or something.
Yeah, we had when we had Rez on. I mean, he's like the big events guy, biggest, yeah. and he was like, he always is playing events, and it's like, yeah, he could be at 20 wins in a day and a half, and at 35 wins by the end of the weekend of a new program, and it's like, well, what is Rez gonna do now? Just play BR or do nothing?
Well, luckily there's co-op, so I mean,
yep, luckily there is co-op. That's always been a win. So I'm not against co-op in any way.
Yes.
But yeah, man. Speaking of season 2, we had a shit ton of content drop. Once again, obviously the overalls dropped down to 89s for the team affinity, and then the packs had some 90s and 91s, and then the World Series awards are 93s, and so the BR rewards are 91s as well. So it's just weird seeing that 91, man. It's so weird seeing it, man. It just doesn't look right. It makes me want to just like, ugh.
It's gonna be weird, like the end, because whatever, you get into the All-Star break, and then it's like, hey, we'll probably get 99s around then, and then like right after you're gonna go back to like 89s again. Like, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
And you're really not gonna use these cards. Like once those 99s, like who's gonna use that Benny Castillo card from BR? Like,
Yeah, and then it's crazy because like, so they announced on the live stream that obviously in 5 weeks they're gonna have something important, that's the All-Star week.
Yeah,
5 weeks is when the All-Star week is happening, and it's like that's not the time when they are gonna drop 99s. At least that's not what it's scheduled. So it's like, are they gonna drop 99s early and have like longer 99 weeks or something? Because I don't know. It's going to feel weird having all these all-star cards come out for teams and them not be 99s. And then like a week or two later, I drop brand new team affinities for 99s. So I'm curious what's going to happen with that. But how are you, Heli, feeling about like the season 2 content drop? Like, what was your thoughts on everything going back and then all the new rewards and team affinity and everything?
I like the power creep. I do. But it is still weird. Like, especially when we get all these 99s like we've had, and you just, the only really place you can use them in co-op. So, but like, yeah, as far as the content itself, team affinities, I'm not really a fan of. I mean, I just think a lot of those cards, I was discussing this, with Rez, earlier, but it was about, there's not really cards that, are usable like you did in in season 1, like you guys had like Charlie Blackmon, David Justice, but like really in this one it's only like 2 or 3, if that, because it's a lot of pitchers that probably not you're
There's
never
a lot
gonna
of
use.
bad pitching cards in it.
Hey man, don't be disrespecting my boy Josh Hader, starting pitcher Josh Hader.
He is probably one of the better ones, but yeah,
I think he's the only unique card out of the entire team affinity.
Starting pitcher. And I didn't even realize he was a starting pitcher. So
yep, starting pitcher Josh Hader.
But yeah, it's just they're just okay cards. I mean, they're nothing like too crazy. I mean, still the best cards are going to be like the collection rewards or the bosses. I mean, that's still what everybody wants. Mm-hmm. And I just think when you have a power creep like that, you have to kind of make it so those cards are usable, and I just don't think they really do a good job of that.
Yeah, I don't think the cornerstone captain with the team affinity cards things is working the way they kind of thought it would or wanted it to. I feel like those captains should almost be like the Castillo one's good because it's kind of like any live series card. The Stanton one makes no sense for like that he boosts like only 2010s cards or whatever. It's like that's just kind of dumb. Yeah. Like why not make them all like at least give you an incentive to try and use them? Like have some that clearly like it's just so clear like which one is kind of worth it. I felt like at least in season 1, like I mean I know everybody kind of went Buxton boost off the rip, but like the other ones weren't bad. Like you could still kind of use them.
Yeah, Buxton boost was for us All-Star Warriors, and then the Arenado boost was for Heli. Because that increased their contacts and vision and everything.
I still don't believe in captains. I think you just make the cards better to begin with. Like just make more cards usable, and you don't need captains at all. Like I don't know. I think it works better not as an actual like card, but like as a like kind of like what Madden or like a 2K would do, like a badge sort of. So like let's say card has like 80, 85, 80 power, and gives a captain boost with boosts it like plus 10 power or whatever. Makes that card really usable because still the meta is more power based. Like if you're a contact hitter, you're not getting used like very rarely.
Yeah, unless you're Lou Brock, because then he has 99 bunt.
Bunt cheese challenge. I still think I need to do like Toxic Tango Tuesday, where I just do the most toxic builds of all time.
Yeah, but
nothing but bunting.
Yeah. This year, all you got to do is just do switch hitters. That's the most toxic one you can use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everything with all the programs, I think we were talking about it a little bit. It's just they dropped so much with season 2. We got the BR program, the event, the XP reward path. We got everything.
Yeah, I feel. I don't know why they changed it, because like last year we had it like, okay, BR was going to be on a Tuesday, and then ranked, Friday. You got the event too. So I don't understand why they changed it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why they were just like, hey, we're just gonna drop content every day. But it's also like we were saying, they're dropping the season awards program, which I still hate. Like, I get it works with the season, but it's like I always loved the player of the month, lightning card programs. Like those were always like you always looked forward to those, and now it's like they'll just drop a lightning player in the middle of like a random week. But yeah, and then how did you feel about the XP reward path with the three stages of Griffey, Halliday, and Chipper? Yeah.
I think they're really good cards. I think Chipper's the best. No Braves bias there, obviously.
I 100% agree with you. Griffey's swing is amazing. Tango loves Griffey, but Chipper is easily the best of the three.
Griffey, like I feel like Griffey, like we haven't seen a really super juice Griffey. Like I don't know, like I'm still thinking about the days back in 20 and 21. When those Griffey cards. Yeah, he's just fine. He's just solid. Like we know what to expect. He's going to be good, but like Chipper and Doc just blow him out of the water.
Yeah, Doc is terrible until the 99. person. Like, according, like looking at his stats and things, like he is not good until you get the 99 version of him, and then because that's when all of a sudden his hits per nine, his K per nines, everything's all up. But yeah, Chipper is like obviously Chipper and Griffey's both of their swings play. Like obviously Griffey's awesome. His speed's a little low for me personally, I feel like, as a Hall of Fame Griffey. But it's like Chipper's stats are also plays so good. And he's a switch hitter. And he has one of the best swings in the game. It's like he's the perfect like MLB The Show card that you want, because like the defense and speed are just good enough. Like they're not anything too crazy, but like the switch hitting, the swing, everything just works. I think that I don't hate the idea, but it's also like it could have been like an evolution style type card for like what they tried to do a couple years ago, where they had the low card and then, bring it up or whatever. But it's like, I like the evolution stuff that they had in the game. They just didn't do it as much as they needed to. It's like I think, what was it? MLB 20. I think they had it for like 4 cards the entire game.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can make that concept work with cards, but I always think that it would be cool to do that with cards. I think just like specific players doing that, like maybe throughout the year. I don't know. That was what the legendary, Immortals grind was, but it's like it doesn't sound like a terrible idea to me, but it's also apparently was like the worst grind ever.
I feel like that could definitely work an evolution card, like, but it depends on how many 99s they want to give to like each player, because I know last year it was just like it felt like everybody had like 5 to 6 99s, like it was just but I feel like you could do evolution cards and then just whether you want to do it in like a pack, a BR program or whatever, you could have that just really just crazy 99 that should be like the in-game card for that guy.
Yeah.
Like I actually I like the way MLB 18, like the process of it, I think was good. It was just they made it just insane. The amount of the things you had to do it was just so much. But it was like, you earn these like kind of center fielder players, and then that'll help you earn like the silver Griffey, and then you get the gold Griffey, and then whatever, you work your way up to the 99. Like it made sense. But you just had to do way too much, and like some pointless stuff, like buying things on the market or happening to get them in packs that were useless for anything except for just exchanging into these programs. Like at least now, like you used to get uniforms that would just sit in your inventory. You couldn't even actually use the uniforms for your team. But like at least now you can, if you pull, a Brewers or Braves Jays uniform, you can put it on your Diamond Dynasty team. So, but the concept of it, of like, it's kind of like whatever, they gate kept the rewards a bit of like, you can only get progress to a certain amount depending on the time of the year and stuff. But like it just gives you something to progress and to get to. Whereas I don't know, I think it's better than like kind of how things are now. You're just kind of like waiting for the next content drop, do it all, and then you're done. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah. This game's just been a lot more like, casual, it's not like the better players aren't being rewarded as they should. And then like, the casuals are getting, everything they want, and good marketing. But, as far as like, us diehard MLB Show fans, we like things a certain way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just don't like, I don't think everybody needs, like, not everybody deserves to have every card in the game. Like, I'm a believer in that. Maybe I'm just like an older person. Like I am old. I know like some younger people are like, we should have everything for pretty easily, but I'm like, I don't know, like either work for things or like maybe you're just not good enough to get that card. Like that can be a reality. Save up your million stubs and buy it. Like that's how it was. And like, I never had a problem with that. Like, sure, there were always cards that like, oh, maybe I would love to use that certain card, but I always think like there's enough other cards that are usable in the game that if you can't get one card, it shouldn't like ruin your experience for the game. Maybe that's just me. Maybe like, and I guess enough people were like, oh, I'm sad I can't get that one World Series reward, so now they're just like basically giving it to you. But
Yeah. always thought if they up the stuff, they up like the prices. Like I know it caps at like 5 million. We up that and just up what you can put on cars. Like I know it's at 1 million, but if you up that, it could help. But
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I don't know. I've never had anything more than 2 million stubs at one time, so I didn't know if they raised the cap. That's kind of cool that they did that at least. But yeah, it's just they just need. I don't know. I tweeted about it the other day. I know Tango saw it. It's like this game makes me want to go back and create a new profile for MLB 21 and just grind that again because it was like the grind just felt so much more worth it. Like the inning programs were fun. Like you always had something to look forward to. Like, and it was like the perfect power creep. Like by the time you got to
the All-Star.
Yeah, like right around the All-Star. But even the All-Star game was 97s in that game.
But those cards were some of the best cards.
But there were some of the in MLB The Show history. I mean, you had 97 DeGrom, 97 Trey Turner. Like those are the two big ones that I know everybody was like.
97 Devers, 97 Cedric Mullins.
I mean, 97 Josh Hader.
And then you got to do an All-Star game collection for that Ohtani card, right? Like,
yeah, but then there was also a program, and they put a 99 Acuna in the game because that was the year he tore his ACL. Yeah, for the first time.
It's too soon.
I know it's too soon. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that until I was like, oh fuck, we got a Braves fan here. Trust me, that pained me too. It pained me too. Both of them pained me.
But yeah, like also in that collection, we also got that 99 Prince Fielder. Like we got some cards in there. Like it was.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, this is like.
Yeah, but like, I think like if they go, I'm not opposed with like 99s being off rip. I just think like the way you make these cards usable, like especially like if they want to do this power creep, this way they're doing it is just another mode. I feel like other game modes in general would just help the game out so much because we've only had like the same like 3. I guess co-op technically, but like the same game modes for the past like 5, 6, 7 years. So.
Yeah, but we have Stadium Creator.
Oh,
this is the hill that I will die on.
I like Stadium Creator. I don't hate it. I like it as a mode. I like it as a thing that's in the game. I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to have, I guess, and like what people do with it is pretty cool. But I just think it was like. The amount of man hours and money that went into that could have gone into other things that would make the overall game better, I think was a waste of time and money. Yeah. My opinion. I think it was a waste. Stadium Creator was the biggest waste of MLB The Show in the last 3 years.
And I haven't played in but like 2 Kratom stadiums all year because it's been so broken. So
yeah,
I just wonder how much like
everything is broken.
Like how much time, if you look at how much time people have put into that mode versus everything else, like where it would be, like how small of a percentage would it be compared to even like Road to the Show casuals? Because like the people who do Stadium Creator, obviously like you're spending like weeks and days at a time making it, but like that's like what 1 out of 400 players is doing that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wonder.
True.
But just
I like it as a feature in the game. It's cool. But yeah, I don't like the fact that it kind of is. And I also think that maybe it shouldn't be used for online play. Like use it for have it as a feature that's in the game. You let people, download County Stadium, for instance, here in Milwaukee, like the old County Stadium. Like I had it last year. I was playing. It was like my primary stadium online because how cool. The guy who created it did such a great job with it. I'm like, well, I'm going to use this. Like, it looks cool. Yeah. And because it's the stadium used in Major League. So like there's that tie-in too. So it's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it should be allowed to be used online, but
yeah, I feel like it's better in offline, like that's the only reason I do it is just for like, grinding to get stats or PXP or just whatever.
Yeah, you do it to get your hits quick and your home runs quick and things like that for team affinity.
Costco, baby.
And things like that. Costco. Gotta have Costco. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of that going on. And then, it just, I don't know. This is like the first time in my life, and I hate it that MLB The Show doesn't give me anything to like look forward to. like I'm going to be excited to be done with Team Affinity whenever I do finish it. Cause I am like goal oriented like that when it comes to especially MLB The Show. Like it's like I have to get everything done before the new stuff comes out. Like, but it's also like, man, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is the rest of the year. They say they have some stuff cooked up. I know the guy who worked on the Jeter storylines tweeted that they might not be done yet, so we might get some secret stuff there. But it's like, we'll see, man. Like, I know a lot of people are like defending the game and say, "Oh, people aren't going to stop playing it when NCAA comes out and things like that." But it's like people are going to stop playing. People are already stopping playing, unfortunately, and it sucks because guys like the three of us and Rez who we had on and other people, man, it's like this is like the go-to game that we all look forward to playing, and it's like we want to keep playing it for as long as we can and while it's around, and just SDS, just give us something, man. Just make the game fun again, man. Don't make it so prize incentive. Like give us something to work for.
Cut the packs down a little bit. Throw us some more free packs. Give me a free fresh start pack in one of these programs when you're dropping it. Like, I don't care if I get a base round. I'll take the free pack. Like, come on.
I think this is some of the fastest I've seen. Like, with the community, just kind of like leaving the game. Maybe it's just NCAA coming out, but I don't. In 22, it wasn't even that bad. And I think 22 was a whole worse game. Like. Just from I think content in 22 was great, but like as far as like core gameplay, it was brutal. But this year it just felt like everybody wants to get off.
We'll see what happens with this foul ball tweaking or whatever they're doing this week. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. Like maybe what are you going to go from 8 foul balls in at bat to 4? And it's like I still think it's going to. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna.
I said for me, it's not even the foul balls. It's okay. Well, it kind of is the foul. But it's like people are hitting foul balls on pitches that the bat isn't long enough to hit to that location where the pitch went. Like that's the part that gets me. It's like, okay, if a guy does a good job of fouling off pitches, whatever, like that, cool. Like it does take a little bit of. It's a video game, so it's just a lot of hand-eye coordination and getting the bat to where it's supposed to go or close to where it's supposed to go, and then you might be able to foul it off. But like when you get a 12-6 curveball that is going to hit a guy in the shoe and they can foul it off, or like the pitch doesn't even register on the screen and the guy fouls it off. It's like how did they do that?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I know they said they're going to do that. I thought they said something about UI changes too, so that maybe they're going to add a dark mode. Which is what a lot of people were
turn down the brightness a little bit.
Yeah, little people got kind of got over that right away though. Like they kind of just adjusted their eyes to the game because they played it so much. But yeah.
I mean, I would love to see some more gameplay changes. I know, I'm a more competitive player, so I think it would help. But I honestly I don't think the gameplay itself is bad. I think more so it's just it's the foul balls and just more so servers because you can play one game, same pitcher, everything will be fine, and then go to the next game, same pitcher, completely different. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I played in a tournament game like a week or two ago with a friend of mine. I'm in this tournament and it was so bad, and the only way to get the lag to go away was both of us simultaneously had to pause the game and then unpause it, and then the servers would catch up. It was and it happened 3 times in the game, and we're it made pinpoint. You literally you couldn't move the pinpoint, the pitch would not register, and then everything would just be 0% everything. It was well, I'm not using pinpoint in this game. I had to go back and I think I used meter because I just had to. And it was this is so bad. But then we would pause the game and then go back into it and everything was fine. It was what? How is this a thing? Why is this even happening right now? But other than that, I really haven't seen much as far as gameplay. Besides, obviously, foul balls are going to be an issue because it just is. But I don't have the greatest issue with it personally. As far as other people, I mean, there's somewhere you're just whatever, and then you just next pitch. Whatever. I'm an all-star warrior, and I understand that just playing an all-star, it's not it just is what it is, right? When you play 98% of your games in all-star, you're
you're just playing to have fun, right? Like I don't know how like Heli, like I don't know how much you've played on Hall of Fame or Legend. Like I don't know if that's what like bothers the more competitive players more this year, or if it's just kind of the one thing. Like there's always that like a gameplay thing. Like to me, I'm like if it's just foul balls, like if that's like all you really have to complain about gameplay wise, that's not so bad. Like you think about like how much worse it's been in like different iterations of the game over the last 5 years. Like, all right.
Yeah,
you know, like if you think of some of the gameplay issues in 22 or whatever, right? Like,
yeah, I think more so on the Hall of Fame and Legend. It's just it's weird, like because there will be games like everything will be going great, and it feels like the game's supposed to. And then there's other games where it's just like nothing goes right. It's like foul balls, just weird stuff in the game that the RNG, just it seems to happen in all in like one like in that one game, but like. Yeah, I haven't really noticed too much besides like foul balls and just more sort of server issues. But
That's good. That's at least. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the internet too. So it's like sometimes people's internets aren't better than others. So
yeah,
it's tough to match up with people like that. So I mean, there's always that too. So, but it kind of just. That's always going to be an issue for every video game. Not every server is going to be great because it's your server compared to the other person you're playing against server. And there's all these different, obviously obstacles in the way. It's not just SDS screwing you over because you're mad about it. So, but yeah, man, like you said we got 2 conquest maps and some programs and stuff coming up.
Two programs tomorrow. The Architects program, whatever that means. And then London series
I'm
program.
interested to see what that is.
I haven't really been paying attention to what happened in those London series games. I know the Phillies won one and the Mets won one. So
yes,
I don't know who's
Bryce Harper had a home run. He did a soccer slide. I know that much.
Yeah.
Right. That would be a good picture for a card art. So maybe we'll get a soccer sliding.
Yeah. Nah, he's gonna be released in a pack. I'm calling it.
Definitely. Yeah. And then got Father's Day coming up this weekend, so there'll be a Father's Day map. The Twins, as we talked about, just released their uniforms, their ones. So, and then they're releasing a new headliner as well. They dotted out the name, but it's a 4-letter first name. So there's that. And then season awards drop too as well. So. We got some stuff coming this week, but it's like, it's just more of the same. It kind of seems like the programs and stuff, but they're not even going to be like worth it with the XP. It seems like, so there's a lot of that too, unfortunately. Did you see the nerf that the Lou Gehrig program got?
I did not. What did it?
It was obviously they dropped it right before the end of season 1. So you could get up to 80,000 XP just for that one program. If you did it, they nerfed it down to like 5,000.
Oh my!
Just for that one program, because obviously they didn't want everybody to get 80,000 XP for that one pro. But I was like maybe 20,000, maybe 10,000, but they got nerfed down to like 5,000 XP. I was like, holy shit! I'm glad I did it before the program ended or the season ended, because I text Tango and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna wait and do this, and I'll get like a crazy head start on everybody.
Nope.
And then I read in the notes, and it was like all past programs are gonna be nerfed. And I'm like, oh man, like that sucks. I didn't want that to happen. But we're it's getting to the summer times, man. Like I saw on Twitter, it was like, I can't remember who tweeted it, but everybody was like, this was like the time where everything in MLB The Show started to like rev up and get really exciting for people, and like people are just like starting to get the game and things like that. So it's like, and this year it just seems like, man, a lot of people are leaving it, and it's like they gotta do something, man, because this is really going to hinder next year's game. And that's what scares me the most. Cause it's like, they could fix everything. They could make everything to be catered to our player base, kind of how everybody wants it to be. Like it could be a perfect MLB The Show, but the past game and this game have hurt so many players, like willingness to play Diamond Dynasty by itself, and then just not get MLB The Show at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, but it's like, man, they gotta do something. They gotta do something.
Yeah, I think just ever since 22, it's just felt like it's gone continuously down. Like there's been like it's been like little improvements. Like they'll do something good, but it would just be but it's mostly just kind of like questionable changes that I'm not really that we're just like you know. But yeah. Speaking about like going to the summertime, yeah, I feel like this is probably the most dull it has been. Best word to describe for it, because in 21, when the All-Star break was coming out, and we get like on Twitter, the teasers like, oh, they're releasing, 97 Devers, and we're like, okay, I'm ready for that card. But now it's just like, well, I have to see.
And then it's and no disrespect, but here's a 91 Vinny Castilla. Have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just not a big fan of Vinny Castilla cards. Just not.
Hey, Mike Mussina though.
The card art.
Mussina cards are usually good.
It is pretty good. The card art is awesome. I like it. I like the Takashi card art.
Yes, I wish they would. That in the Jinkin series cards, I'm really a big fan of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that just makes me think that we're gonna at some point get a 99 Ohtani with that card art, maybe.
That's really what I'm looking forward to. Those guys like Buck Leonard, Rap Dixon,
dude,
Josh Gibson, just guys like that.
Josh Gibson is going to break the game. Dude. It's gonna be so good.
When his supercharge was so good, like when he was in 99. Oh,
yeah. I wonder if they're gonna do that for like the next season, like season 3. I wonder if they're gonna do that. Like
it's kind of another thing that I think has been weird so far is that like out of all the like kind of new legends, like big name ones like Beltre, even like Palmeiro, Josh Gibson, like we haven't seen a 99 of even one of those guys yet.
Yeah,
like it kind of seems weird, like because usually the new legends are like, hey, well, this is like new legends means that's like an exciting thing of the game, like the game starting on. Like obviously, we've got versions of all these players right away, like day one. But like when last year, like Jeter came in and then he was the live series collection, right? So then it's like, oh, he's there at least. Like they really dropped the ball on that because like a two-way Babe Ruth is something we've been wanting forever, and it should have been in the game by now. But it's like it just. Was like it
feels kind of like
it's just like like this year wasn't the year for it. I don't know. It was just like, and I did it just because I like to get collections done and complete things. But like I don't even really use it. I don't even really use that card. It's just like it's there.
I feel like he was the safe choice. He's just kind of like everybody knows what you get with Babe, and they went with the safe choice.
I've never even been a super big fan of Babe Ruth cards either. Like I don't really ever hit well with them. He obviously can't play defense to save his life, and then apparently for everything I've seen, nobody uses him as a pitcher because his pitching is terrible. He's not. Like so there's just
except when you could use him in that BR for the good old 2 weeks
for the glitch.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Glitch.
Yeah, the glitch. Yeah. But yeah, I think I agree with Helly that they went safe with Babe. They just, I don't know. I thought this was going to be like Adrian Beltre 99 overall for like the American League or the National League.
In my dreams,
like I thought we were going to get something like that because when they announced that Beltre was going to be in, it's like, man, like. But even like in the beginning, remember they did like the Hall of Fame card art, but the face was blurred out, and everybody was like, oh, that's Beltre. Turned out it was Willie Mays, and everybody was like, oh. Willie Mays, great card, but it's like we've had Willie Mays for like the last 5 years.
Just ouch.
And it took like almost the entire season for most people to even collect enough cards to get it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
too.
And even then, like, man, they've done Willie Mays dirty the past couple of years. Like, he's just. I feel like we haven't got a true 99 Willie since like 22 probably.
Yeah, the one I think it was 22 or what. I think it might have been 22 is when he was like the World Series reward, but even that one wasn't even super great. I just know the live series collection Willie Mays was like the best one out of all of them.
Yeah,
but they do that for a lot of cards though. I feel like the best version of a card is like the live series collection version. Yeah, like Chipper was great. Actually, no, last year's Chipper was probably the best Chipper.
That's why I'm an advocate on 299s every year. Like you kind of get one, that's it's good, it's solid, but then you make that, that other 99, that's the in game, like, so.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
I remember that one year they gave the first 99 Griffey and it was dog shit.
All right, hey.
That should have been like a
Last
97.
year.
Like,
Yeah.
No, last year.
no, it
Yeah.
wasn't. There was
No, it was
2 years
22.
ago.
Yeah, because I remember they hyped it up on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, hey, we're getting a 99
yes.
Griffey," and then everybody was just like,
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
last year, like the BR one they gave us right away was like, it was okay, but it was better than that other one, but it wasn't amazing.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I got 3 Griffies this program, so I can't like really be mad.
"Yeah."
I still think the funniest thing ever was I think it was like 21 or whatever. It was the Reds Griffey, and it was like, dude, nobody wants Griffey wearing 30. Like, I remember that was like a thing.
But he was like the
Everyone's
most
like, why
juiced
is it-
Griffey we've ever gotten.
Yeah, he was like the best Griffey
Yeah,
ever. It was
yeah.
like, and that was the
Power,
year
both
that you
sides.
had that was the year
That's
you
a-
had him with finest Mike Trout. So it was like those two in the outfield was like nasty. But yeah,
I-
man.
21's just so good. Like they just did it.
Yeah,
They
like,
just did things so well in
20
21.
21, I'll go back and see clips on Twitter, and I'm just like, man, why, man? It was just you just had to be there. That's all.
Just had to
he
be
was
there.
the best, man. You just had to
I
be
know.
there.
Feel bad for people
the
who just
best.
started with like last year or this year. It's like you just don't even know what you missed.
Nope. You got 99s day one and you were in, and then everything was like, oh,
Yeah, but that slow grind, because I remember, I believe it was 21 with the, we're getting some of these new or reused cards, which I'm not a fan of either. Like, but the 42 series, I love that. Like, and that was in
it
21,
was awesome.
and man, those cards are so good. I remember
Playable, dude. Playable for a
yeah,
while.
yes. So.
Playable
yeah,
for a while, for sure.
Yeah, that's another thing that they're doing that I'm not a big fan of, reusing cards. Like, I feel like,
Oh, so
you can-
many.
just like you can give us some different like card arts, and I know you.
Yeah, it can literally be the same players. Just give us a card art we
Just
haven't
different
seen
card.
before. To be honest, like I'm like all
What
these
do you
weird.
mean? You don't want Tanner Scott to have his live series picture as his
think
Team
the-
Affinity card picture?
The only different card art I think was that Royce Lewis, and that's because it's because he's a playoff card.
Yeah, it was from the
Last
play. I
year.
mean, yeah, and everything. Yeah, that's the only one I think that was new. Everything else was recycled from past games, including the Josh Hader one, which is I forgot about that one because that was like so long ago. But yeah, I mean, it's just I hate shitting on this game so much, but like
Yeah,
we
like,
can
I'm-
find so many more negatives than positives.
Yeah,
We should talk
I'm
about
always
some
gonna try
good,
to.
some good things about it.
I'm always gonna stay positive about the game. I just
Team Affinity
yeah.
is in the game. That's a
Yeah,
positive.
yeah. That's the one thing that the game I think does do good is they're at least trying to like make something. They did the co-op innings, which in co-op missions, which that's that's good.
Yeah, I need to play some
But
co-op.
yeah, I mean, but they but yeah, the cards themselves are they're pretty solid, but it's just they're just not to the level we've seen them in the past, but they are solid cards.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. We're just greedy. We're just
Yeah, we're
greedy,
spoiled-
greedy.
we're spoiled.
We're spoiled fans, man. We know what it used to be like. I mean, like I said, we can go down a list of things that were just better back in the times. We didn't even get
Yeah.
into like when you talked about card arts, like card series and stuff. I always just remember the card series collections for each series. Like every series had a collection to
Yeah.
it. You got vouchers and things like that. It just made every card important too.
Yeah,
Like not every card is just just binder fodder anymore. Like
Yeah,
everything's worth something now.
yeah,
And now all the cards just go into the one giant collection, and then you're not able to even complete those collections for another couple of weeks because they haven't even released enough
Yeah.
cards to get to those cards yet. So,
yeah.
but man, talked about a lot. I don't know. I don't really know what else we can really get into. Tango, do you have anything else on the docket?
Not
for
much. I don't know. What do you like? What are you looking forward to the most with this game this year, Helly? Is there anything you're looking forward to? I mean, like for me, it's probably like All-Star Week is always fun. So I'm hoping that week at least, like I am still looking forward to that. I don't think we'll be disappointed with it, but I also am not getting my hopes up too high.
I think it's more so, on the content side, just, making content for everybody, streaming. But as far as like actual game, yeah, the All-Star and, the playoffs or those postseason cards are usually fun. But it really just depends on what they decide to do. Like, because there's still a lot of cards we need. 99 Beltre, I'm hoping it's a Dodger card. I know. But
we'll see, because if it's a Hall of Fame card, I think he's
that's
Rangers, right?
He went Ranger.
I just want the best. I just want the best version of him when he was with the Dodgers. But like there's some cards.
That year right before he left for Seattle when he had like 48 bombs.
But just some of these new cards, new players. And more so how. Yeah, I think it's just the new cards. That's pretty much.
And the foul ball update, right? It's going to change the game. Game changer.
Maybe the tournaments and stuff too. I might dabble in that a little bit, but and I just kind of want to see them, balance it out a little bit more. They have been doing a little bit better with the programs, giving us, a little bit more. But I just I know we were spoiled from 21 and 22 from those programs. So let's just see if they can keep, making them, rewarding and incentivizing us to grind.
Yeah, I don't know, Helly. They didn't put a choice pack in the latest program, man. Everyone was up in arms about it.
Yeah,
going back to their old way.
2 programs tomorrow has got to mean at least like one pack or like a couple of good cards, right? There's got to be.
I would assume we're gonna get some good. We're gonna get some good 89s and 90 overall guys. It's gonna be fun. Unfortunately, that's the era we're in right now. It's like the London series guys, like they could put a 90 overall Bryce Harper, but he's like his live series is an 89, so it's like it's not even worth doing it. But yeah, man, I kind of agree. Like I'm looking forward to seeing the cards that are announced being released. And then we just got couple more weeks of Team Affinity. Obviously, everybody's going to grind that out, get that done. The online stuff is going to come in and new events and things like that. But it's like, just seeing how the game progresses is what I'm looking forward to. I think they did a good job with this Team Affinity update for this one, making it easier for people to complete it. Yeah. Some would say it's a little too easy, me being someone, because of how quickly some people in this chat have gotten everything done pretty quickly.
I wonder who.
Yeah, I wonder who. Every 10 minutes, my phone's getting a notification about him doing something.
Whatever, guys. Hey, I'm only at 300,000 on the XP path. There's people that are
only 300. Yeah,
there's guys that already have, like, if somebody's got Halliday, the middle Halliday P1 already.
Yeah.
I saw that
P5. Sorry.
I saw.
I think Wost posted.
Wost, he posted the clip. He's already at 420,000 XP.
It's crazy.
He got those 95 cards already. So it's nuts.
With that, quadruple XP,
double XP. Yeah, I didn't take advantage of it like I would. I did for the first day, but not much else after that. So, but it was what it was. I grinded a bit Friday, got a bunch done. Then Saturday and Sunday and Monday, life happened. But
that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Life can happen. Yeah. Well, Helly, thanks for joining us here. Appreciate you taking some time out to talk MLB The Show. I know we kind of all, it's hard to be really positive right now. It's a little bit of a vent session, but I do still love the game. I think we all do. I think the biggest thing is we all just want it to be good. Like, that's all everybody wants. Yeah. We just want it to be good because we love baseball.
I'm not shitting on it because I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm not shitting on it because I don't like it. I'm shitting on it.
I know.
It was so good.
I see too much of that.
Sometimes what you see on Twitter and on the internet, you're just kind of like, okay, guys, like, just chill out. It's like, it's a fucking game.
But too much, and I try to, I try to be more, positive than anything, but you got to be critical at some points of the game.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But yeah, any last words, gentlemen?
No, man. Helly, do your social media plugs, man. We want everybody to
it's just BigHeli, BigHeli with 2 eyes on everything. I appreciate you guys for having me on. And
BigHeli XXX69 on OnlyFans and
XXX69 on OnlyFans. Yeah.
All right. Well,
the guy who always is good for coming in and dropping purple hearts in people's chats too. I love it.
Yeah, you guys.
Gotta drop the
All right.
balls.
Thanks again, Helly. Jake, always a pleasure. And long live MLB The Show.
Long live MLB.